I am here today to do my March Mystery Madness TBR. We'll see if I can make it through this video without running out of space on my computer. So there are 6 challenges and tons of hosts. I will link everyone and all the information below, including the Twitter account and the Goodreads group. And yeah, I'm super excited. Elizabeth asked me to help, host or whatever, basically spread the word for March Mystery Madness. So she is so wonderful and lovely. So yes, I will link everyone below in the description box and all of the info and all of the challenges. It runs from the 1st to the 31st. You should definitely join us. So there are 6 challenges. Again, I feel like I've mentioned that a ton already. I have a lot of picks for some of these and only one pick for some of these because, that's how it goes. So the first prompt is shelf. So technically all of these books are on my shelves, so they kind of count. So I decided like, oh, okay, I'm going to make it kind of weird in that I have picked Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. I found this when I was at a restaurant up somewhere here in Oregon, and they had like a bookshelf with a bunch of books on it, and so I picked this book from that shelf. So I'm using this for my shelf category. I've seen the movie with Leo, and I loved it. It totally freaked me out, and I kind of want to own that movie actually. Oh wait, I might. I don't know. Either way, I'm really, really excited. Hopefully this is really good and intense. The next category is borrow. And so I feel like I've mentioned before, I don't really borrow books just because I own so many. And, I just don't really like feel the need to do that. And then also I'm like really greedy and maybe I want it and then, whatever. So what I've done is I've taken one of the books that I own, this one right here, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and I have borrowed it, I've borrowed the audiobook version of it. Sorry, this is terrible quality. I don't know how to make things look like fancy. But yes, I borrowed the audiobook version of it, so I'll be listening to that. I feel like this is a really good pick for listening because, it's very intense. Also, this is like a super hyped book, and I'm excited to try it out to see finally if I like it or don't like it. Quite a few of the mysteries that I have here are pretty hyped. The next one is new. And for that one, I have a ton of picks. These are all new to me authors that I have never read before and that I'm really excited to read. The first one I have is The Big Over Easy by Jasper Fforde. Also, by no means do I think I'm going to actually read all of these books. I'm going to read at least one from each category, and then I've got all these other ones to pick from. Anyway, so I have never read any Jasper Fforde, and this is like the mystery nursery crime. On the back it says, "Welcome to the seedy underbelly of nursery crime." And so, they nursery and crime. Yeah, you don't need more information than that, do you? Anyways, so then I have Walter Mosley, The Long Fall. I just showed this in my year-long read, so TBR. This is the first Leonid McGill mystery. I really have no idea what this is. All I know is that I've heard really good things about Walter Mosley, and he's a mystery author. It looks, based on the cover, like a thrillery mystery type situation. But either way, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I've read that author. We'll save that for later. Then I have In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. She wrote The Woman in Cabin 10 also, and then I think something else that's quite recent. But this is, some women, they go into, or it's like a hen do, I think that's the right terminology. Basically, a bunch of women at a bachelorette party and things get weird. I don't know how or why, but I'll find out. Next one, very similar title, In the Woods by Tana French. I have heard so many good things about the Dublin Murder Mystery Squad. I think that is the name of it, and I really would like to also read this. Then I have an anthology, so there might actually possibly be something in here that I've read already, but I've never read this anthology yet, the Best American Mystery Stories, and this one is from 2009, edited by Jeffrey Deaver, who I have never heard. And let me see if maybe I can spy some authors in here that I recognize. Absolutely nothing. Oh, Joyce Carol Oates and Alice Munro. I've heard of those people, but I have not read any of them. The next one is a Gigantic Ark, and this is Lie to Me by J.T. Ellison. I got this one last year on Indie Bookstore Day when I was at the mystery bookshop in Seattle. They had a bunch of like freebies, which, you know, were just arcs that were wrapped up. And so, yeah, all I know is that what it says on here, which is they appear to be the perfect couple, ... I'm hoping this is not a DNF. Based on the cover, it looks like something that I might not actually end up finishing, but you know, it's always good to go into books positively. And next, shamefully, I've never read any Raymond Chandler. So this is The Simple Art of Murder, and this is, I believe, a short story collection that I've been trying to read for the last like many months, so hopefully I actually read it this time. All right, so those are all of my new to me authors. Technically, I have got some other in here that I haven't read too, but you know how it goes. All right, the fourth category is historical, and for those, I picked 3 books, and these are all like classic mystery types. The first one is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the 3rd book in the Sherlock Holmes series. I've read A Study in Scarlet and Sign of 4, so I'm going to continue on that journey. I also started reading a long time ago Agatha Christie chronologically, thanks to Tanya from Lizzie's Obsessed Reader, who does unfortunately not post videos anymore. Man, I feel like there's so many booktubers that don't post book videos anymore. It's so sad. But anyways, I'm like not very far along at all. This is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. This one I'm definitely going to read from this group of 3 because I need to get back on the Agatha Christie. I love these floppy little mass markets. They're wonderful. And then I have the book that I actually did purchase at the mystery bookstore, which is just called Seattle Mystery Bookshop. And this was recommended to me by the bookseller, and this is Somewhere in the House by Elizabeth Daley. I don't think she's like super contemporaneous with Agatha Christie, but she's like a U.S. author kind of writing around the same time. I think this was published in the 40s maybe, but I guess she's like a pretty, you know, classic mystery author that I had never heard of. So that's always nice. Next category is foreign. So I've got a few picks for that too. I've got The Bat by Joe Nesbo. This one is translated by, so foreign, I'm picking translated mysteries. This is translated by Dawn Bartlett. This is the first book in another series also. It's an Inspector Harry Hole novel. And then I have Where Monsters Dwell by Jorgen Bjrk, and I don't really know what this is about either. I don't know any. Ooh, a grisly murder at the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Richmond, Virginia bears a close resemblance to another murder in a library in Trondheim, Norway. Ooh, so a homicide detective, so it like goes back and forth to see if they're connected. So that sounds interesting. And let's see, this one is also translated by Stephen T. Murray. And then I've got Out by Matsuo Kirino. This also might be more of like a thrillery type book. I'm kind of like using mystery for me, like mystery crime thriller type situation. But yeah, I have literally no idea what this is either. Oh, brutal murder, Tokyo suburbs, young mother, coworkers. Sounds great. Sorry, I don't, in case you're new to my channel, if you are, I don't like knowing things about the books that I'm going to read. I ran out of disk space, so I just had to delete some stuff, and now I'm going to keep going. I am almost to the end, though, which is so unfortunate, because now I have to edit this video together. But anyway, so I was talking about Out by Matsuo Kirino, and just talking about how I am a fan of, like, meshing, you know, I like dark, gritty things, so when I think of mystery, I think of thriller and, like, crime type stuff, too. Which reminds me, maybe there's, like, a true crime book or something I can pick up. But anyways, so I got that one, and then I've got 2 Herman Koch books, Koch, whatever you want to call him. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've got Swimming House, or Summer House with Swimming Pool, and Dear Mr. M, and I'm not sure if these are translated by the same. This one's translated by Sam Garrett, and this one's also translated by Sam Garrett. That's great. So this one, I'm definitely going to be reading this one, maybe. I don't know what either of these are about. I'm just assuming that these are, I don't think these would be like considered classic mystery type books, but they do have some element of suspense and like, you know, so, you know, one of them is about an author, etc., etc., and the other one is someone dies and they have to like explain themselves, kind of. So these are more like literary suspensey type books, but based on how shocking his other book was, I feel like these maybe count. We'll see. I'll read them, and if they don't, then I'll just not mention them in my mystery wrap-up at the end of the month. I assume I'm going to have like a regular wrap-up and a mystery wrap-up. probably. Anyways, and so then the last, I lost my challenges. All right, the last challenge is opposite. And for opposite, I have Brain on Fire by Susanna Callahan. So this is a memoir, so I've picked it as opposite because it is nonfiction, and the rest of the books that I've picked are fiction, obviously, because mystery genre, it is, fiction. So this one I am counting as a mystery book because there is this woman who is having some kind of like episode type thing where people think that she might be schizophrenic, I believe. She's catatonic, strapped to her bed, unable to move or speak, no memory of how she got there, violent, psychotic, of flight risk. So I know this book involves her presenting with certain symptoms that people think are something, and so they kind of have to find out what's actually wrong with her. So, it's kind of it's a mystery as to what is wrong with her. So obviously you find out what is wrong with her because she's fine now, I assume, or else she wouldn't have written this book about her tale. So yes, that is something that I've been wanting to read for a long time. I know this was like really popular on BookTube a while ago too, and so I would like to read it. And then I've got a couple extra that I'm just gonna throw in for good measure. Again, I don't think I'm gonna read all these books, but go big or go home is my motto. I like to set my goals high and then try to get to them, but might not. The first one is The Number One Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. I have read one of the books from his other series that is an absolute riot. So I'm expecting this to be a pretty quick and easy and fun time, just based on my experience with that other book. But this is the beginning of a very popular series that I feel like everyone has heard of. And the last one is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. And again, my friend gave this to me when she came to visit, and I would like to read it because her books are crazy. They are literally crazy. I mean, Gone Girl was fine. Mostly all I'm thinking of is Dark Places. Dark Places was bananas. So I'm really excited to see what else she has in store. Can I say excited any more times? I don't really think so. So that's going to be my month of reading. I'm obviously going to be reading other things too, aka all the things I did not finish in the month of February because I've got too many things on the go, people. I'm probably going to throw in some fun mystery things also, like games and movies and, make a whole thing of it. We'll see. But anyways, I hope everyone else is going to have a good month. I'm sorry, guys. I had a really tough day at work. If you've created a TBR for March Mystery Madness, if you're participating, please link below. Let me know what's going on. I want to see what everyone else has picked. I feel like when you think of mysteries, like Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie are the ones that come to mind, so I'm curious to see what other new exciting things people have, especially if they're translated or by Black authors. You know what? Or by Asian authors. I was looking at my shelves and I feel like I've got Out, and that's like really it. Most of if you've got any suggestions, especially like foreign, let me know down below. I hope everyone's having a great day and that you have a mysterious month.